Welcome to the motherfucking lady. We're covering today's top boxing news.
Okay, we'll start with this. Set to go down on the undercard of Clarissa Shields versus Kay Scotch. Reigning WBC Super Featherweight Champion Caroline Veyre of Canada will be taking on South Africa's own Bernice Ferreira in defense of the green and gold title. One of only two champions in the Super Featherweight division, the other being unified champion Alicia Baumgardner, who we talked about in my previous video. Caroline has actually been calling out Alicia for a fight. Caroline, who sports a professional record of 11 wins with 1 loss and no draws, no recorded knockouts, having never been knocked out in 12 professional bouts. Her opponent, Bernice Ferreira, sports an unblemished record of 10 wins with no losses and no draws, 4 recorded knockouts. Last in action in May of this year opposite the ring, Ellen Simwaka, who she decisioned over 10 rounds. Before that, she fought 3 times in the previous year, keeping an active schedule of fights, albeit very pedestrian level, just local girls from around the way. Nobody world level, nobody familiar. The defending champion was last in action in February of this year opposite the ring, Delphine Persoon, who she decisioned over 10 rounds, and before that, she had fought 2 times in the previous year, so neither fighter will have any ring rust to shake off. Caroline Veyre is best described as an all-around good fighter. Physically, nothing really jumps out at you. She's not that big a puncher, she isn't all that fast, but her fundamentals are good enough that she's a solid all-around fighter, currently on a 4-fight winning streak after having dropped a decision to Joanna Lopez in September of 2024. Currently on a 4-fight winning streak. She fought 4 times since then and won 4 times since then, making headlines not but a few weeks ago for not just for calling out Alicia Baumgardner, but uploading sparring footage of them where Caroline seems to have been getting the better of Alicia Baumgardner, tagging her, attempting to goad her into a unification match, them being the only 2 champions at 130. Alicia Baumgardner would present as the very biggest fight for Caroline Veyre, so she wants it. She wants undisputed. She will have to make it past Bernice Ferreira, and I expect that she will via a points decision. Bernice has never fought somebody as good as Caroline, somebody world level, so I don't expect any surprises there next month. But beyond that, say that Caroline wins. There is still enough time remaining in the calendar year to do that fight between her and Alicia Baumgardner. The question is Alicia going to give her the time of day? Will she fight for undisputed for a second time? The only reason Caroline has the green and gold title is because Alicia Baumgardner recently dropped it in protest of the WBC's hardline stance against 3-minute rounds in a women's boxing match. Alicia Baumgardner dropped the title like Chantel Cameron dropped the title. And when she did, Caroline Veyre was her mandatory challenger. Caroline was in position to pick it up, though in hindsight, adding that additional minute to the round in a women's boxing match is not all it's cracked up to be. Initially, the idea was that by adding that minute, it might result in more knockouts if you give the girls more time to work, and they have, but it hasn't produced any more knockouts than what we were seeing before that. To make the sport more marketable and appealing to the casual observer, casuals loving highlight reel knockouts, that was the premise to do it. But it has been tried. Several women have now boxed for 3-minute rounds, and it hasn't resulted in any more knockouts than what you were seeing before. So maybe Alicia Baumgardner and MVP jointly will walk back that stance on adding 3 minutes to a round. For what though? Just long enough for Alicia to get her old belt back, win back the WBC title on the premise that there's nobody left for her to fight, nobody all that good at 130, save Caroline, so why not do it? Why not fight her? Become a 2-time undisputed champion? If you're not about to move up to 135, you might as well do that. She can beat Caroline Veyre, in spite of that leaked sparring footage. I don't have a lot of stock in that. If they were to fight under the hot lights where it counts, I think Alicia beats her, and I think there's a premise for them to fight later on this year. Let's see if they do. For now, Caroline will be fighting later on next month on the undercard of Shields versus Scott, and I expect Caroline to win.
And so, okay, can we clear this up once and for all? Because you're going to be asked about this a million times. What, if any, involvement does Oscar have in this fight?
He's a co-promotion. Golden Boy is a co-promotion with Ryan Garcia Promotions, and we have one more fight with them, so they're going to be part of one more as co-promotion with my promotion. So that's pretty much it.
And that one more fight, that doesn't include this one, right? That's one more after this one?
Yeah, one more after this one, yeah.
Is there any reason why he wasn't on the stage on Saturday at Fanatics Fest?
Oh, I mean, I don't really, I'm not in charge of that, so I don't really know why he wasn't there. I'm not in charge.
Well, one of the big things that a lot of people are looking forward to is, will he be up there with Dana White? They have a long sort of, very friction-like relationship. Will they be up there together?
I have no idea. I mean, if I did, I would tell you, but I have no idea. I just show up wherever I need to be.
One thing that I have said on the show and that I heard was that when you did the Times Square fight, you signed a 2-fight deal with Turkey and the Saudis and Sela, and this fight falls under that, and that's why he's probably not going to be as visible for this particular fight. Is that an accurate thing to say?
Yeah, you could say that. I have obviously Oscars. I don't know if it's called sold my fights to Sela for 2 fights. I don't really know how that works. I just know that I have one more fight with Turkey.
Does he profit off of this one though?
Of course, yeah. Of course he profits off it. Come on now.
So does it bother you when he comes out and says, "Yo, I don't want to see this fight. This fight doesn't."
It makes no sense. You're getting paid off it. I don't understand why you're talking shit about it. It's like, bro, collect your check and move on. Like, what is the point of that? It makes no sense. You're getting paid. What if you're getting paid? Why are you talking shit? It makes no sense, bro. And nobody's even mad at you. I haven't even talked shit about him in a long time. I don't understand where that came from. It's like, why are you putting my fight down, bro? Like, I have no problems with you. I still don't. I don't really care. I just don't understand why that. I really don't get it. I don't know the thinking process in that.
When's the last time you spoke to him?
When is the last time I spoke to Oscar? What was it? Barrios fight? Probably Barrios fight.
That week? Like fight week?
Yeah, that week.
Wow.
It's a valid query from Brian Garcia. Oscar's going to get paid anyway. Why are you shading the event? Why are you poo-pooing on the fight? And it's likely because of who he's got to co-promote it with. Well, let's establish this. None of the actual promotion for Garcia versus Ben is going to come from Oscar or Golden Boy. You're thinking to yourself, well, how do you know? Because Golden Boy Promotions primarily operates in America, and because in America, the fight will be shown on Paramount Plus, not DAZN. The only reason it's a quote-unquote co-promotion is because Oscar de la Hoya agreed to rent out Ryan Garcia for 2 fights to Turkey, and Turkey wants to use him for a Zuffa show. But Oscar isn't actually promoting anything. That's why he wasn't even there for the kickoff press conference to represent Golden Boy, at least in spirit. Wasn't there? Because he's not the one in charge. He's not at the helm of the promotion. The money to do it all is coming from Turkey, and the ones pushing and promoting it are going to be Zuffa. So if Oscar de la Hoya knew all of this beforehand, why did he try to poo-poo on the fight? Well, because what he knew was he had rented out Ryan Garcia to Turkey for 2 fights, but he didn't know that the last one would go to Zuffa Boxing. You know, that he probably thought that Ryan would go on another one of Turkey El Al Sheikh's Ring magazine cards. That's probably what he thought initially, so that when he finds out that Ryan is being loaned out to his arch nemesis, Dana White, who he's never gotten along with, threw his toys out of the pram. He couldn't really do nothing about it. He would have never loaned out his flagship fighter, the only one that he has, to Dana White willingly. He's only doing so because he has to. Turkey's got dibs on Ryan Garcia's next fight, and he wants Ryan to fight for Zuffa. Simple as. And remember that 2 or 3 weeks ago, Oscar took a shot at Turkey for trying to funnel Ryan Garcia over to Paramount, over to Zuffa. Do you remember that? Remember that we talked about it here on the channel. If there was anything Oscar could have actually done to stop this fight from happening, he would have done it. But in the end, his hands were tied because you already agreed to loan out Ryan to Turkey for 2 fights. So Ryan is in the hole with Turkey for 1 more fight, and according to Ryan, he's in the hole with Golden Boy for 1 more fight, claiming that there is only 1 more fight left on his existing Golden Boy contract beyond the Conor Benn fight. Reacting to this, veteran manager Sam Jones said he's had one fight left with Golden Boy for his last 10 fights. Yeah, that's how it seems. Ryan Garcia's friction with Oscar isn't anything new. Believe it or not, this has been going on between him and Oscar since before the pandemic, going all the way back to the Romero-Duno fight. Their relationship has been on the rocks for a very, very long time, and Ryan Garcia has been saying stuff like this for a very, very long time. So I don't know that we can take it from him that he's only got one more fight left on his Golden Boy deal. We don't have a real clear picture of that. What we can say is that we know where Ryan Garcia might go afterwards. If his Golden Boy Promotions contract is set to expire in the not-so-distant future, we've got a very good idea of where he would go afterwards.
What have you thought of them so far, 7 months in? Have you seen their product?
I think their whole machine is great. I like the format that UFC does. I like how, they have so much access to different medias. I think Dana White's doing an amazing job with Zuffa so far. He's going to be promoting these guys that don't really have a following and give them some type of, limelight. So I think that's a plus for fighters that aren't very known.
And when you were back there on Saturday, I'm assuming you got a chance to talk to Dana, got a chance to talk to Nick Khan, perhaps?
I really like Dana White. Now that I've met him, I've never really had conversation with him in the past before, but he seems like a really cool guy, like very personal and just funny. Nick Khan, he seems like he's dope. I mean, I like him. I like all of them so far. This is first impressions were great. I think they're all dope. So, and I love how they make the face-offs fast. I like how they run the press conferences. Like I like a new little change to the normal, the normal boxing press conference.
It feels like the UFC press conferences, right? Which are the gold standard.
Yeah, I think it's better. I mean, personally, I would change that about boxing. I like how they let the reporters come up, ask questions to the fighters. It just stirs shit up, and it makes it fun instead of the whole, got to get on the podium, say, hey, thank you to this, and that, blah, blah, blah. I'm ready. I've been training hard. It's kind of repetitive.
Ryan Garcia is open to change, and he likes what they've been doing over there at Zuffa Boxing. Dana White, Nick Khan seem to have made a very good impression on him, not surprising. And what are the odds that they've already discussed Ryan's departure from Golden Boy behind the scenes? Think about it. The whole time that they were having dialogues with Conor Benn for him to come over and fight for them, nobody knew about it. Not even Eddie. But it happened. So, based on that, there's a very strong chance that they've already had those kinds of conversations with Brian Garcia, and Brian seems receptive to what they're doing. No surprise. Could Ryan being WBC champion impede his ability to move over to Zuffa? I don't think so, because the World Boxing Council would be shooting themselves in the foot if they tried to strip Ryan of his title for theoretically signing to Zuffa. They'd be missing out on a lot of money, and that's what they're in it for. Money. Hypothetically speaking, if Ryan were to become a free agent in the not-so-distant future, and he decided to sign to Zuffa, I don't think the World Boxing Council would strip him, in spite of their feelings towards Zuffa and their proposed league, where they have a belt of their own. If push comes to shove, I don't think Mauricio would take that belt from Ryan, because nobody else in the division can get him the money for it that Ryan can. They ain't gonna do shit. So you've already got Shakur Stevenson over there. Devin Haney is rumored to be migrating over to Zuffa as well. And if they can get Ryan, that'd be another big acquisition and more ability to stage the biggest fights in the welterweight division. Think about it. If they are at the helm of the promotion for a proposed Stevenson versus Haney fight, the winner of that fight could then move on and fight Ryan. The loser of that fight could then move on and fight Ryan. Think about it. Now, this doesn't take away from my previous statement that Zuffa can only afford to keep spending this kind of money for this kind of talent, but for so long. But while they're doing it, they are creating a stir. They are making waves. Golden Boy. They cannot afford to lose Ryan Garcia. Because what do they have if they do? In my previous video, we talked about the industry rumor that Golden Boy's extension with DAZN is only for 2 years. If that rings true, Ryan Garcia will not have done a whole lot for them in the first 7 months of the first year of the new deal. And he's not going to box on the platform for his next fight. Virgil Their other flagship fighter, he's been on the bench for the last 7 going on 8 months. He hasn't done much for the platform either in terms of delivering content. That Golden Boy Promotions content offering is a lot weaker than what you're seeing from Matchroom, Queensberry, even Top Rank to some extent, even the PBC. Golden Boy's content offering is weaker than theirs. If they were to lose Ryan Garcia, I don't think there would be much reason for DAZN to keep them around. It's getting crowded over there. Been saying it. It's getting crowded. That if they lost Golden Boy, what would they really be losing? Collazo fights? Scrappy Ramirez fights? If they lose Ryan, if he were to go somewhere else, Golden Boy Promotions would not have that much to offer the platform. It's getting crowded over there. Momentarily, Ryan Garcia says he's got at least one more fight left on his Golden Boy Promotions deal. Who could that fight come against? DAZN just inked a deal with Teofimo Lopez directly. No middleman, no promoter to represent him. He's about to fight Rolly Romero for Rolly's WBA title. I figure that the final fight of Ryan Garcia's Golden Boy deal could come against the winner of that fight, whether it's Teo or Rolly. A unification match for the WBA and WBC titles. I'm sure that Teofimo would be receptive to that fight. If he beats Rolly, I'm sure that Rolly would be receptive to that fight. If he beats Teo, would Ryan be receptive to fighting them? And that's where you gotta put your thinking cap on. Would Ryan Garcia accept a potentially risky fight with the winner of that one for his final fight of his Golden Boy Promotions deal that might impede his ability to earn moving forward? Because if you lose to Teo, or if you lose to Rolly again, well, there goes the neighborhood. We're thinking many, many months from now, many months into the next calendar year, where things can become quite nebulous and immaterial. It's all contingent upon what happens in Garcia versus Ben, what happens in Lopez versus Romero. What happens after that? We'll find out soon enough.